Alright guys, so this is going to be the review on the 2017 remake of It, because I mentioned that I did see that movie, which was the date? Well, I saw the movie almost two Saturdays ago now. It's been out since September 8th. I took my cousin Ethan to see it. Uh, And it's just something that I wanted to talk about after watching, just because I've never really been into like the original version of It, the miniseries. Like I've never seen it. So watching the new one, I actually really enjoyed the new one. I really liked the story. Um, the child actors in this new version of it were really good. Uh, I liked all of them for the most part in the movie. They were all pretty funny. Uh, excuse me. This movie review will have tiny bit of spoilers. I'm not gonna go into like full detail and tell you the whole entire movie, but there will be like mini spoilers. Like I want to talk about the beginning scene because I just started the book today and I read the first chapter. So I did pick up the book. I enjoyed the movie enough to pick up the book. So I started that today. I read the first chapter. So I read the scene where Georgie dies. Uh, and one thing I want to say about that, the opening scene of the 2017 version of It is almost almost the same as how it is in the book. There are like tiny things that are different. Of course, they're going to change it for the movie, but he still dies the same way, obviously. So in the book, he is outside playing with his little boat that his brother Bill helped him make, and then he takes it out to play with it outside. And uh, there's so much rainwater and stuff that it causes the boat basically to start flying, and Georgie can't. Well, the boat starts going really fast, and Georgie can't keep up with it, so it falls into a storm drain that he happens to run into, which is where Pennywise is at. Because as he's looking down in the storm drain, he sees two yellow eyes, and that's how it happens in the movie as well. Uh, so basically, Pennywise is acting all nice and stuff to the kid, and he asks him, does he want his boat back? And he says yes. And he says, but he's not supposed to take things from strangers. So he introduces himself, um, and he says, okay, we're not strangers anymore, so would you like your boat back? Basically. I'm not going to tell you line for line what they say, but they basically almost ripped that entire scene from the book and put it into the movie, because as Georgie's grabbing for his boat, Pennywise grabs his arm, and in the book it says that Georgie sees the clown's face change, which he does because Pennywise then basically gnaws his arm off, leaves him there to bleed to death. So that's basically what happened at the beginning of the movie. That's where Georgie dies. Uh, so they did do that. In the miniseries, they could not show Georgie getting his arm bitten off because it was a PG movie, from what I understand, and this new one is rated R. So there is that. So that was one of the scenes I think that was probably closest to the book so far. Obviously, I'm not too far into it, so I'm not gonna really go much into detail about the book, obviously. But I just wanted to talk about that one part. Um, Also, basically, the whole story is them as kids, like the original miniseries. So this first movie is just their story as kids, their first run-in with Pennywise, and he's using all their fears against them. So, like against Bill, he uses Georgie. Um, Beverly, I guess he uses blood because of the bathroom scene in the new movie, where her bathroom gets covered in blood, basically. Um, Something like that. I don't know what her exact fear is, but and then there's in the movie Stanley. Stanley's fear is this weird painting. So like when he has his first run-in with Pennywise, Pennywise isn't in his clown form; he's in the form of the painting. And that's where I want to talk about how awkward the CGI was to me, but it still worked really well for the movie. Because obviously they had like low budget CGI from my understanding, so it's not the best CGI, but it's not terrible either. It's not terrible at all. It fits really well with the movie, and it looks odd when he's in the form of the picture on the painting, and that goes for the leper as well. But Eddie is scared of because he's like a hypochondriac germaphobe type kid. So there's that, and then what else? The bullies, they aren't as violent as they are in the book, from what I've heard. I'm not going to go into details about that until I review the book. So basically, they just aren't as violent as they are in that, which is good that they didn't do. They didn't go into everything that those kids do, because it's a lot and it's very disturbing from what I've read about it. So I like that they kept them toned down but still made them scary, really violent kids, like how they are. So I did like that, and those actors were really good too. They portrayed the bullies really well. And basically, there's another thing I want to talk about, is that in the book, Pennywise says that they all float down here, and he's referring to whoever's down there dead in the sewer, basically, like the children that he eats. But it's used more as a metaphor in the book, whereas in the movie, the director of it, Andy Muschietti, I think is his name. I think that's how you say it anyway. He actually used that to his advantage and made it where the dead kids are literally floating in Pennywise's lair in the movie. So I thought that was interesting. I give it probably at least a 7.5, 8 out of 10, because it the movie did make me jump. It was creepy. It was funny. And I actually really can't wait to see part 2 when they're adults, because I think it's going to be pretty interesting. One last thing I do want to touch on is Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. I read that like there are some scenes in the movie where he does some really creepy things with his eyes, and that is not CGI. So I thought that was actually an interesting fact, that he can do all this weird stuff with his eyes. So that made him a little more creepy, actually, which is really cool. In my opinion. Obviously, he you can't really compare him to Tim Curry. Now, people's opinion on that is that Tim Curry was better, that the original was better than this movie. Some people say this movie is better because the original miniseries doesn't hold up as well since it's dated back to the early 90s. 1990 is when it came out. So people just said it didn't date well, but that Tim Curry's performance was still excellent. And Bill Skarsgård is very much so different than Tim Curry. He even said in an interview himself that that no one can do a Tim Curry performance better than Tim Curry, which obviously is true. But he was a really good Pennywise, and I can't wait to see the type of backstory that they give him for part 2, because it is going to be more of the origin for what it actually is. And the child actors, I think, are confirmed to be appearing in flashback scenes, and then they are going to have a whole new cast for like the adults, as for the kids as adults. So I give the movie 8 out of 10. It was really good. I actually really want to see it again, and it really made me want to read the book, so that's why I picked that up. So there's that. And that is my review on 2017's It. And I hope you liked it. Leave a comment if you did. Leave a like if you did, and let me know what you thought of the movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was scary or just creepy? Let me know. So there will be more to come, like I said, and again, I hope you enjoyed this. So thank you for watching. Bye.